It was a very difficult trip. The biggest issue was it started in the dark. We started from the city of Dara. It is a city on the border of Syria and Jordan. It was 5 or 6 p.m. We had 3 suitcases. It had everything that we owned.
This is Thafer Kashak. He's a businessman, husband, father of 2. He's from Homs, Syria. He thought he had a good life until the civil war unfolded. Now in its 6th year, the Syrian civil war has taken its toll. Upwards of 250,000 people dead. Towns like Aleppo destroyed. Millions displaced. Who are the refugees? They are ordinary people living in neighborhoods like this, carrying on with their everyday life. They have the misfortune of a dictator who has descended their country into ruin.
I was just a businessman. I was a manufacturing man. I was always independent. Never took sides on anything. I was just a member of the society there.
ZAH-fer recently shared his story at an event at Fresno State. He talked about helping Syrian refugees in Lebanon 10 years ago. He never thought he would be one himself.
While we were on foot, there were gunfights between the people around us and the army. There were 5 or 6 families. There were armed people far away on both sides. We didn't know who those people were, what they were doing, what they were going to attack us or protect us. We kept walking for another 3 hours. There was a hill. Once we crossed the hill, we will be in Jordanian land.
The army separated the men and women before eventually transferring them to the Zaatari Refugee Camp in the town of Al-Mafraq. The Kashak family became one of 80,000 refugees to live at the Zaatari camp.
Life in a refugee camp was very difficult, intolerable. I couldn't keep my family in the camp.
ZAH-fer said his family was so exhausted they slept for hours after they arrived, but the conditions were deplorable. 1 bathroom for every 100 tents.
In a sense, I was a prisoner of the camp. At the beginning of the refugee camp, food would come. They would literally throw it to the people. The first people I helped get out were my daughter and wife. They were smuggled out. My son Basel and I remained.
They waited all night, but when the sun came up, ZAH-fer and Basel made their escape to the waiting car of a relative. After their escape, ZAH-fer's family lived a short time in Jordan, but because of government policy, he could not find regular work. But fortune finally shined upon ZAH-fer. In June 2014, the United Nations asked him if he wanted to be resettled in a different nation. Within 2 months, they learned that they would be coming to America. What was that like? What were your feelings when you got that call asking if you wanted to go through the resettlement process?
It was a beautiful feeling. I had no hope that I would be able to leave Jordan. It was a very beautiful feeling.
After settling in California, ZAH-fer found Fresno to be a place to start anew for himself and his family.
Life is good here in Fresno. It is enough that we can live in safety and peace. If things do calm down in Syria, we might consider going to visit. I don't have hope of moving back there and living there.
In the next installment on GV Wire's series about Syria, we'll take a look at America's involvement and why some say the United States is to blame. David Taub, GV Wire.